Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
चलिए आज का श्लोक पढ़ते हैं।
शरज्योत्स्ना शुद्धां शशियुत जटाजूट मकुटां वरत्रासत्राणां स्फटिक घटिका पुस्तककरां सकृन्नत्वा नत्वा कथमिव सतां सन्निदधते मधुक्षीरद्राक्षा मधुरिमधुरीणाः फणितयः शरज्योत्स्ना शुद्धां शशियुतजटाजूटमकुटां वरत्रासत्राणां स्फटिकघटिका पुस्तककरां सकृन्नत्वा नत्वा कथमिव सतां सन्निदधते मधुक्षीरद्राक्षा मधुरिमधुरीणाः फणितयः।
ओके। शरज्योत्स्ना शुभ्रां शशियुत जटाजूट मकुटां, पाठांतर is mukutam. Pathantar is mukutam. You can also chant Jatajuta Mukutam, and you can also say Jatajuta Mukutam. Varatrasa Prana Sphatika Ghutika Pustaka Karam. Sakannatva Sakannatvam Natva Kathamiva Satam Sannidadhate Madhukshira Draksha Madhurinam Bhanitaya. Okay. In the last shloka, we took note of various manifestations of tattvas, where it was told Kshitau Shat Panchashat, earth expressing itself in 56 ways, Dvisamadhika Panchashat Udake, which means water expresses itself in 52 mayukas, Hutashe Dvashashti Chaturadhika Panchashadamile. A fire expresses itself in 62 ways and air in 54. 72 manifestations of ether and 64 in mind. Right? These were told. And I told you that the exact meaning of this shloka cannot be grasped unless until you have experienced it. And even ordinary people cannot know it. Ordinary sadhaks also cannot know it. Even so-called advanced sadhaks may also not know it. That should be clear. All the manifestations of all the tattvas in all the lokas, because there are 14 dimensions of this existence. 14 bhuvan. 14 bhuvanatmak srishti. 14 dimensions. In 14 dimensions, this world is created. This cosmic creation is done at the time of creation in 14 different planes. It's not universe, it's multiverse anyway. Further, every plane of creation consists different mayukas of each tattvas. However, All the tattvas, all the five tattvas are present in all the lokas. But different mayukas, different manifestations of the same tattvas is presented in different lokas. Right? For example, we say that at the atomic level, there are some particles generated in highly energetic reactions. At subatomic level, the whole purpose of Hadron Collider was that we will try to find out how it all began. And they were surprised, at least in one thing, that particles appear from nowhere and disappear in oblivion. Okay, they appear from nowhere. Suddenly they appear from nowhere in this space. The matter presents itself, but this matter presents itself in the current dimension which we are all experiencing, and then it suddenly moves to another dimension. That much we have reached, not all, right? Whatever we are able to know is Adi Bhautik. We can't go beyond that. So each of these planes, each of these 14 bhuvanas will have their gradations also. Like we have our Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik. So other creations will also have their Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik and Adhyatmik. For example, we know of from our scriptures that even gods and demons are at war with each other almost all the time. There is a continuous tussle going on. But Devaloka, by the way, is not the loka which is of the same variety, same quality as we experience. For example, we say that Devatas are Manojavam. When we do the Vandana of Hanuman, we say Manojavam, Marutatulya Vega. The one who can move merely by the intention of mind. As much as your mind can move, the whole physicality they contain, they own, can move from one place to another. And then there is also another aspect to higher creations, that a deva can be at many places at the same time. He is not bound by the only physicality. Therefore, if you are doing Sri Ram Sankirtan, you are doing bhajan, it is said that wherever Lord name, Sri Ram's name is uttered, taken, Hanuman presents itself. And he is so much willing, so much rasik of Ram now. So wherever Ramdhun goes, wherever Ramdhun is chanted, he presents himself. So just think about it. Suppose Alpana has arranged Ramdhun, and at the same time Sharbani has also arranged Ramdhun. The Hanuman has to present at both the places, and he will. But there is no limitation of space that way for Devatas. No limitation of having one body. You see, the Devatas can assume many bodies at many places at the same time. They move from one place to another more than the speed of lightning, what we call. Right? Light has a speed of 3 lakhs or 2,84,000 kilometers per second or something like that. So that much. And mind moves in what speed? Mind moves, but mind also has its own limitation. You see? Mind also has a speed limit. Okay. But mind is the subtlest and highest tatva, which is 21st tatva in our ambit, what we have. That's the subtlest and that's the highest. Although when we say mind, mind in itself is composed of many things. For example, we can say mind is also part of antahkarana. Mind also contains chittam. Mind also contains ahankara. But ahankara is a tattva which is higher than mind. Okay. It's not the mind. But we can say for all practical purposes, it is mind because it's something which is subtle. In our own being, we can't say that this is our chittam, this is our intellect, and this is our mind, and this is our ego. We can't distinguish. And therefore, each one of it is mind. As we move beyond mind, we reach what we call ahankara, ego, which is actually the higher tattva. And what keeps these ahankara and tattvas together? Ahankara, antahkarana, and all the indriyas, all the tattvas together, which is called ahankara only. Okay, ahankara is that tattva, but even that is said to be bound by prana in this physicality. This is something which we have studied, that highest manifestation we have at least is of mind. Mind expresses in 64 mayukhas or rays, which is equivalent to all the 14 different planes. Right? So mind has different hues and different purity based on sattva, raja, tama, based on other qualities. Mind also expresses itself in different lokas in different ways. For us, see, for us there are lokas. In our experience, first thing you should know that loka word means experience. Loka means experience. Okay. So we also have lokas. Okay. Currently we are experiencing this loka. This loka means the world which is presented to us, which is grasped using our sense organs, in which we can exert our karmendriyas. This is our loka. Loka means this is our experience. This loka will be destroyed and another loka will be created when we will enter dream consciousness state. We will experience another loka. And then we will move to another loka which is called Sushupti. Sushupti loka or Sushupti experience is closest to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So by the grace of Ma Bhagwati, it has been provided to us, to all the jivas who cannot experience Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It's a replacement. If you don't have direct sunlight exposure, you have supplement like vitamin D3 supplement. A supplement is not of that quality which your skin and all your internal system produces. It may have even certain side effects, but at least its purpose is that the one who cannot experience Nirvikalpa Samadhi should be able to rest or take leave from all the bhogas. You see, okay? One should be able to experience a shanti. One should be able to experience ananda. One should be able to go beyond all duality or dvandva. One should be able to free oneself from the miseries. One should be able to free oneself from all the shadripus. That's a possibility. Sleep is a beautiful state. In the deep sleep consciousness, there is no bhoga. In deep sleep consciousness, there is no roga. In deep sleep consciousness, there is no manasik vikara. In deep sleep consciousness, there is no prapancha. In deep sleep consciousness, there is no one who is successful, there is no one who is failure. In deep sleep consciousness, all duality melts and you stay at the lotus feet of Mother Divine. But one thing remains, that is called the seed of ignorance. You see, the seed will again germinate as it will get all the necessary ingredients. When that seed will be presented in the waking experience will provide all the sense inputs, and the sense inputs and the tattvic experiences, the vasanas and vrittis of antakarana, they all together will again sprout the same reality for you, right? So the same seed will come back and you will again experience the same world. So deep sleep experience in itself is a boon to all of us, because if you continuously engage in bhoga, whether it is sukha or dukkha, you cannot remain but become insane, will become mad. Whether you are experiencing sukha or dukkha, you want to pull back yourself from it. So that simply means no one in this world can say, I love sukha or I love bhoga and therefore I will not leave it. Everyone has to leave it. Everyone leaves it. Rather, wishes to leave it. You see, that is the pull, that is the attraction, that is the rejuvenation, that is the refreshment, that is the peace you get by withdrawing from the world. You see, by withdrawing from the world, you again rejuvenate yourself. And then, when you again come back in this waking loka, you again experience the seed sprouted, becoming a huge tree. You again experience it. What is the purpose of waking? And what is the purpose of dream? And what is the purpose of sleep? The purpose of sleep is to tell you that you remain despite the world. Sleep is more than 90% death. But see the beauty of sleep, that in sleep consciousness, while you are 90% dead by all practical parameters, you have no fear of death. That means the purpose of sleep is to tell you that there is a state of consciousness in which there is no fear of death, where death does not exist. Okay. Where suffering does not exist, where moha, mamata, ahankar does not exist, where prapancha and sanskaras and vasanas don't exist, although they may exist in the seed form, which is survived by your own prarabdha or your own will, your own attachment, ignorance. But the sleep state is being given to us every day to tell you that there is a state in which there is no fear of death. There is this state in which you exist beyond this body, apart from this body. Without bodily experience also you can exist. That's one, the purpose of deep sleep. Another is purpose of dream. Purpose of dream is only to tell you that by assumption of different bodies, you don't split, you don't become many, you remain one. See, try to understand. Then you will understand what is this whole game going on. In the dream, you become the world, you experience it, and then the world comes to an end. So that means this one became many and experienced it, enjoyed it, suffered it, whatever it. And then it was taken away, that experience was taken away. You were now presented your testing ground. You see, two experiences given. You don't create dreams. Ma Bhagwati has programmed it within you. This is what you call made easy, kunji, keys, clues, embedded clues. These are the clues. So dream gives you that clue that I become many and there is this one only expressing in many. Yes or no? Further, this also tells that even if the body of dream is dropped, it is destroyed, I still remain. And in these many years, you have created so many dream bodies, you have experienced so many dream lokas or dream world. All those bodies have become dead, they have been dropped, but you remain. That's another learning, right? So your fear is baseless. That this body, if dropped, you will be dead. Only if you have analyzed and understood your own experience. If you are obsessed with what you are experiencing, only in ignorance you want to live, you don't want to apply yourself, then you'll continue to suffer that somebody has died, I am also going to die. You are the same person who has dropped or shed off so many dream bodies, but you still remain. You are the same one which becomes many, which becomes the whole cosmos, the world of experience. Now, when you come to waking, you say, no, 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 no. There are many. There are many. This me is not alone. There are so many. But dream has given you that clue, that look, there are no many, only one. Now look at this world. This is the veil of Maya. That while you fully know that in the dream state you have recognized it, that you become many, and you understand that. When you come out of that dream state, you know that the world was false. I had become the world. But when you come to the waking, you are not governed by you. You drop all your knowledge, all your information, all your clues, all your wisdom in the dustbin and accept the world to be real. I am not alone here. There are many. And they are all against me. They are all creating suffering for me. They are all after me. क्यों? ये मुझे धोखा देता है, ये मुझे गाली देता है, ये मेरी बुराई करता है, ये मेरा अपना है, ये मेरा पराया है, ये भला है, ये बुरा है, ये सब तुम हो. ठीक है ना? तो ये क्लियर हो जाना चाहिए कि इस एक्सपीरियंस में न मैं हूं न तुम हो. Actually at the deepest layer of your experience, न तुम हो न मैं हूं. यही माया है. ठीक है, ये माया इतने आसानी से नहीं जाती. बस इसलिए नहीं जाती क्योंकि आपको अपने क्रिएटेड वर्ल्ड से बहुत लगाव है. बस और कुछ नहीं है. ये माया जाएगी भी नहीं. इसीलिए अभ्यास वैराग्याभ्याम तन्निरोधः. वैराग्य क्या है? अरे वैराग्य सत्य का दर्शन है. वैराग्य इज recognition of the truth which is being presented to us every day. Mother Divine gives us lessons after lessons after lessons. See, you create your own world, beta, you create your own world, beta, you create your own world. I say, no, but this world I have not created. Somebody else has created. Why? Because it looks as if there is a continuity. Only this much. Okay. That's it. Only because it looks like there is a continuity. Right? But you see, there are two extremes. There are two extremes where the continuity seems, and of course, when there are two extremes, there would be a middle, something, some grade which is in between, right or not? But between two extremes, there will be some variations available, right? Continuity in the waking and continuity in the sleep. Of deep sleep is always the same or not? That's continuity. Experience in your deep sleep consciousness. Each time you enter deep sleep, the experience is the same. There's no change. There's continuity. At one extreme, which is deep sleep, there is the continuity of experience. The same river in which you are going to go and take another dip. When we experience deep sleep, there is continuity in that experience. Each time we go and experience that deep sleep consciousness, deep sleep loka, deep sleep experience, it's a continuity. But only point is that all the experiences, all the three experiences which we are having, they have their own utility, they have their own significance, they have their purpose, and they all are the clues given by Mother Divine to experience the ultimate truth. Hmm? Okay. Now, that was a little bit background in the last shloka. Okay. Now let us move to this shloka. As I told you last time, that out of all the tattvas, the one which is the most intimate and most subtle is mind. We tried to find out the mathematics of 64, the calculation of 64. What is that 64? And then we said 16 is important. Let us focus on 16. There are 16 kalas of mind, and in our tantric system, we say that there is a 16-letter mantra which is the highest mantra. So all these things resonate to the 16 number. 16 multiplied by 4 would become 64, as we have already understood that we all have 4 states of consciousness, which is called Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Turya, and therefore the mind revolving in these 4 bands of consciousness will become 64 for our purposes. However, let us focus on the grosser aspect because we will begin our journey from the gross. And as I said last time, that Swara Yoga is a beautiful way to begin your journey with study of mind, because mind moves as a subordinate to moon. Mind follows the moon. So mind is moon. Chandrama Manaso Ajayata, which means from the Virat Purusha, he created moon out of his mind, which simply means moon is mind. So the moon has 16 gradations, 16 manifestations, 16 types, 16 shapes. Okay. And it is also said that the most beautiful moon in which Amrit Kala is also present, the 17th Kala, the element comes which is called Amrit. And that's the reason on this Sharat Purnima, people prepare some sweets and they put in the moonlight. And they expect the nectar to be dripping into those dishes and then they consume it, thinking that it will revitalize them, it will take away their suffering and will also prolong their lives. That is Amrita Kala. So the 17th Kala manifests in Sharat Purnima. And that is why when the beauty of Devi is depicted, the first word has been used, Sharat Jyotnam Shubhram. Sharat Jyotnam Shubhram, which means the glow of, the luminosity of the moon of Sharat Purnima. The spotless autumn moon. And that fairness has been compared with the beauty of Mother. Now, this is also to be understood. While we are talking of Sharat Jyotnam Shubhram, it should also mean that there are these direct connections existing with moon and mind. So it also means when the mind is full bloomed mind, fully bloomed mind, fully blossomed mind, when it experienced, it is able to give you some experiences. And those are Varat, Trasat, Trana, Sphatika, Ghutika, Pustaka, Karam. These are the four things. Fully illumined mind, fully blossomed mind will give you boon. It's a mind which will give you all the powers. It's a boon in itself. Then it is Trana, which means only with such a mind you will be able to rescue yourself from the bondages of the world. Trana, saving yourself. Saving yourself does not mean saving this body. We have already reached the mind. Please understand. The trana should not be of this body anymore. कि अभी तो दिमाग काम करेगा तो हम अपने आप को अमर बना लेंगे. No, 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 not that. It will save your own soul. Right? Such a mind is a savior. Sphatika Ghutikam. Sphatika Ghutikam means there is this rosary of Sphatika, which is called Sphatic. There is a stone, semi-precious stone, which is called Sphatika. Sphatika is transparent, crystal-like stone out of which the beads are created. Such a rosary is presented here in one hand of Devi. Sphatika Ghutika. Which means, if rosary beads are to be taken at the series of thoughts, thoughts are spotless. Sphatika is a spotless. It's a transparent, crystal clear, as we say. So your thinking, series of thoughts, they're all crystal clear. You know what it means. You can arrive at the meaning of a thought right as it presents to you. Sphatika Ghutika. And then there is one thing more. That means the series of thoughts are all spotless. The series of thoughts are all in a sequence, which means the right kind of thinking. You see, what is the difference between worry and contemplation? Worry is haphazard. It's not systematic. It's not sequential. It's not sequential. And contemplation is sequential. Each and every thought is clear to you. Worry means each and every thought itself is clouded with your own emotions, expectations, and whatnot. So let us be clear. Let us be clear that the experience of such a mind is going to grant us few things, out of which the major things are depicted here. One, vara, and then trasatrana means end of suffering, saving yourself from the suffering and the bondages. Sphatika Ghutika, which means the sequence of thinking is to be very, very is sequential, organized, and very clear. Each and every thought has a transparency, which means what is a transparent thought and what is opaque thought? You would ask. See, transparent thought is in which you don't mix up your emotions and expectations. You see the truth as truth. I know. That's a transparent thought. You know what the thought means and accept it as it is, which is called thought with transparency. A clear thought. Right? The word is clear thought. Clear thinking. Clear thinking means each thought, you know what it means. Each thought has its own meaning. And it is not colored with your expectations and your emotions. Right? That kind of thinking is presented in such a mind. Fully bloomed mind. And finally, pustak kara. Pustak. Whenever there is a pustak, most of the religions have their books. We also have. Not one but four. Okay. That's called Vedic Vangmaya. Everything, even the Kashmiri darshan, which is Shiva Advayavad, because there were not many objections from the Vedic scholars that you are not conforming to Vedas, and therefore a lot of literature has been created only to create a samanvaya. In whatever we are saying, it is Veda Sammat. It is not Avaidik. Let us keep ourselves away from all that. We simply mean that whatever is our understanding about the world and ourselves, that only elevates. Mind is the tool, and fully bloomed mind, fully blossomed mind is the savior. It is also giving you capacity to boon, means it is also giving you capacity to help others. And then such a mind is also a contemplative mind, a structured mind. Finally, it is saying Pustak, which means such a mind already understands the sense of Vedas. It also understands Vedas. Such a mind can never think anything beyond Vedas. Right? Another meaning to it you can give that such a mind is so much knowledgeable that whatever is available in the parampara, he knows it. Whatever is available through the lineages is all hridayangam. It's all assimilated by such a person. Only such a mind is capable of what? Only such a mind is capable of creating sweetness in this world. Such a mind is always sweet, means such a mind no one opposes unless until you. So therefore we should know that creation of such a fully blossomed mind is our goal, and it is representative of that Devi itself. Okay, so Devi presents herself in our being as a fully bloomed mind. Right? The capacities of such a mind is his knowledge is Shastra Sammat, which means he will not create his own arguments for the argument's sake. For example, suppose कीजिए पिता ने पुत्र से कहा तुमको शराब नहीं पीनी चाहिए. पुत्र ने जवाब दिया पिताजी आपको भी तो सिगरेट नहीं पीनी चाहिए. You may say it is a good mind, but no, it is not. It's not a good mind. अपने लिए क्या है? What is in it for me? दूसरों को बता के अपनी गलती नहीं साबित करनी, अपनी गलती को सच नहीं बनाना. Because you do that, I do this. Not a good mind. Since you have done this to me, I do this to you. Not a good mind. Such a mind cannot create sweetness, by the way. Only that kind of mind, which is fully bloomed, will express its Satchit Ananda Swarupa through its actions and speech. Such a mind will create two things at least, which this text is all about. Soundarya and Ananda. Okay. Beauty in the world, which is also called, sometimes we refer somebody's beauty as sweetness, somebody's behavior as sweet. See? Don't we say that? They're very sweet. She's a very sweet person. She's a very, or he's a very sweet person. He has a very sweet smile, or she is a very sweet smile. That is all that. Sweet, word is used sweet, which is in the last sentence where Shankracharya is also trying to give you Madhu Kshirak Traksha, all the sweet objects. Madhu means honey. Kshira, of course, you know, It's sweetness of milk, kshira. And then draksha, sweetness of grapes, fully ripened grapes. Right? Only sweetness. You find that such people are always sweet. Their expression is sweet. Their speech is sweet. Their thinking is sweet. Everything is sweet. Right? That is what we are trying to achieve. Okay. The literal meaning of this verse, let me read it out for you, says that how can those good men who have prostrated in front of you at thy lotus feet would not excel in expressing their words with such a sweetness as of honey, milk, and grapes, who have seen or who have experienced your fair, spotless beauty as autumn moon. You are the one who wear the crescent moon in your locks, and having four hands, in which one hand gives you boon, one hand gives you the shelter, the other two are holding a crystal rosary and a book. This is literal meaning. Is it clear? Any question? No question, no? So far? So this was the literal meaning. The philosophical meaning you understood by our deliberation on this shloka. The practical meaning is also there. As we train our mind, the rosary beads are also representative of Satguna. Sat. Like black is a representative of Tamoguna. White is a representative of Satoguna. What to call white? Transparent, ultimate Satoguna. Our thoughts have to be of that quality, which is expression of Satoguna. And Satoguna means we speak not for our own good. We speak for the good of everybody. That's the highest speech you can deliver. Not a speech which is only concerning Pappu and Munnu. Just for example, let's say you have around Pappu, Munnu, Munni, Pinky, and not only for them. Your speech, even if heard by somebody else, would benefit them equally. That's sweetness, that's Satoguna. That kind of expression is possible only when you have, by your way of sadhana, by way of vairagya, by way of removing your ignorance, by way of regularly putting your attention. By the way, one aspect of this is also to be understood that when we talk of rosary beads, it is also representative of Simran or Smarana or remembrance. Which means such a mind is always inclined towards that truth. That remembrance is always there. And only two things to remember. I am eternal, conscious, blissful, spotless existence. One. And the world is my own creation, full of sukha, dukkha, and dvanda, dvaita. These two things you should always remember. If you remember these two, you are always free. So the Sphatika Ghutikam is also giving you one quality of that mind, which is fully bloomed mind. Such a mind is always rooted in remembrance of its own divinity. And always, at least at the intellectual level, mind is always at the level of intellectuality, is it not? So at least at the intellectual level, you practice, you speak, you take decisions rooted in your intellectual understanding, right understanding. And right understanding, of course, who will guide what is your right understanding? Your own book. Yes or no? Because such a mind is also having all the knowledge, your own principles, which have been already given to you. And you say, is it so that we are always given our wisdom, that gyan or information in the series of generations? Yes, it is. You see, it is so. We are, as a whole, whatever we are the culmination of all the wisdom of our ancestors, people who have been before us. Yes or no? People before Newton were not privy of the law of gravitation, though they experienced gravitation. Right? I'm talking of Western world. By the way, we knew. Right? Ancient sages knew. And the rule is very simple here. That rule says that the ansha or the fraction always gets attracted towards the anshi, the one from which the fraction has been created. That's the rule. That's the final. Think of it now. This is the rule available in our books. So go by that. See, a stone, you throw it upward, where it will come? It will come to from where it has been born. Forget about it. Think of a tree. Tree is born out of what? Of this earth. And the fruit on it is what? Ansha of Prithvi. It will come back to the Anshi. In the same way, who are we? Mamaivansho Jiva Loke. Right? Remember, in another philosophy, we are as if we are Ansha of Paramatman. Yes or no? And therefore, we will always be drawn towards the Anshi, which is Paramatman. Who is Paramatman? Paramatman is Sat Chit Ananda. And therefore, we are drawn towards that Anshi as an Ansha or as a fraction. So, Newton may take, the Europe may take pride in whatever they have given beyond Newton and Einstein and all. But let me tell you, we have that knowledge. We don't need to go into those details. I'll tell you why. For that, you need to understand why we are not getting into deliberations of such kind, that there are not 5 tattvas but 104. Okay? There is a reason. You should understand. The world has been created for what? First things is to be recognized. Only then every action needs to be done. You should first recognize what is the purpose of this creation. What is the purpose of attaining this human body? If I am fully aware of that, then I will take up all those projects, all those endeavors I will engage in which that purpose is solved. Yes or no? Secondly, if my job is done with 5, why will I create 100? Why will I try to even look for 100? You see, look here. The whole system is driven by 5. Whole world is experienced by 5. Whole roga and swasthya is driven by 5. What more you need? The world is experienced by 5. World is created by 5. Your experience of the world is created by 5. And the purpose of this worldly experience is to create a state of nivritti. Nivritti means param shanti. This body has been given to create a state of param shanti, number 1. And then nirvritti, which means from nivritti to nirvritti means now from param shanti to move to Satchid Ananda. Acha, look at your own life. Are we not moving in that direction? Don't we want that? I have described it so many times. The Paramatman is our desire itself. The name Paramatma, Shiva, whatever way we want to spell it. The desire of our object personified or even in the qualitative way is Paramatman. Why? Because Paramatman is the consolidated desire set of our own. We want to be free of fear of death. We want to remain immortal. That's the Sat part. We want to be free of all the confusion, ignorance, and all the dilemmas at the thinking level. We want that kind of cognition, jnana, chit. And then we all want ananda. The collective things in your life, what do you want? Satchid Ananda. Satchid Ananda can be achieved by 5 only. Why we need to run for 105, 110, 112? You should also note why we are not getting into. Rajiv will object. Rajiv will say, then Acharya ji, discoveries, progress, technology, where is the place for all this in this? If we say we are happy, we are okay with this. Okay, let us for a moment try to think about that also. Technology creates not yantra but mahayantra. Let us use that word. Mahayantra means the giant machines. Yes or no? Giant machines in 2 ways. Giant at the level of activity, there are only 2. Machines don't have their own iksha, by the way. They only do kriya and jnana. Okay. No machine can say, आज मेरा मन कर रहा है कंप्यूटर का कि मैं sleep mode में ही रहूं. No machine can. There is no desire. There is no desire in the machine. Only 2 things machine has: jnana and kriya. And that is also given by the creator of the machine, which is Chaitanya. Machine is, by the way, Jada. Okay. It may give us the notion or understanding of the false experience of being Chaitanya. For example, we may say there are self-learning machines. There are self-learning machines, and they learn by their own experiences, and therefore they are desirous of learning. No. Sorry. They were never desirous of learning. Neither that desire can persist unless until some programmer, some Satchit Ananda, Chaitanya entity as a human one, has embedded that jnana, only jnana, which seems like as if there is a desire. There is no desire in any machine. Okay? Understand or not? For example, you may say, अभी मेरा विंडोज अपडेट मांगता है. It may be desire of Windows. You can say, अभी तो ये जो हमारा कंप्यूटर है ये रीस्टार्ट होना चाहता है. No, sorry. It has been programmed that way. It has no desire of its own. So let us be clear about that. The machines are capable of storing some amount of jnana, and of course bigger than what is to be made available at the time of execution of some work. Secondly, it can do something more than the ordinary human being, or collectively they can do. Say 1,000 men together cannot dig a well which a JCB can do in some places. Cannot create a dam. But what are we achieving out of it? Let's see. Our Shastra tell that by creating bigger machines, which is called Mahayantras, we destroy the divinity of the world and the people. The divinity and the beauty of the world and divinity and beauty of people. That is why we had always limited our uses of technology to very limited people. The knowledge, know-how of how to create a yana or Vayuyan. Vayuyan means the aeroplane. It was all available with our Rishi, whose ashram is in Prayagraj, Bharadwaj. Rishi Bharadwaj was the greatest avionics engineer of his times. And he has given 30 plus type of yana. He has described 30 plus types of yana. And what we call Vayuyana is not the yana which is flying in the air. Please understand that. Today you should remove that confusion from your mind. That Vayuyana means a yana or a machine which flies in the air. No. Vayuyana means a yana which runs using the power of Vayu. It does not require solar. It does not require ether. It does not require heat. It does not require water. It runs on Vayu. Understand? And when we say Vayu, we are only know few things about Vayu, only few things about air. We have not been able to understand how many Mayukas are there in Vayu. Just go back and understand that. And you'll say, Arre, Vayu, oh ho ho ho, too much, too much. 54. Right? 54 types. How many Vayus we understand? Even till date, with most sophisticated machines in the world today, in the medicine today, modern doctor cannot say that this air which is going in will split and will become 5 or 10 or 12. Understood? This air is air for him. He has not moved beyond it. Understood? That one air becomes prana, apana, samana, vyana, udana. One air becomes naga, krika, devadatta, dhananjaya, etc. One air becomes, so look at it. One air becoming these many is the know-how of Indian Rishi. Did I not discuss that last time? How do you initiate a system, let's say, of vomiting? Let's say you have eaten something and you want to just vomit. Now, without understanding the know-how of the air, you may create certain chemicals to give you a feeling of vomiting. But I'll tell you, as far as I know, in allopathic system, there is no medicine which you can take and you will vomit. I may stand corrected if anybody knows that if you have ingested something which you don't want to remain in the system, please take that medicine and everything will come out. No medicine has been probably made so far. But go to Ayurveda Acharya, because he has studied Vayu. He will tell you, okay, I will give you a medicine which will ignite a particular of Vayu, which will throw out everything. Understood? And those who have studied little bit of Panchakarma, they would know that a woman is medicinal. You know, medicine-induced woman can also be created. If somebody has ingested poisonous thing or something, you go to any allopathic doctor, what he will do? Flushing. कुछ नहीं करना है, उनको कुछ आता ही नहीं इसके अलावा. They can only do flushing. But go to an Ayurveda Acharya, he will tell you. So I was discussing about machines. Now, our Shastras, our scriptures, our traditions, our earlier ancient sages and our rishis, our gurus have told that by way of creation of bigger machines, you destroy the divinity of creation, number one, and you also destroy the divinity of people. दोनों चीजें साथ में नहीं हो सकती. Both things cannot exist together. That bigger machines available in circulation, Mahayantra which we call, circulated, and humans remain divine, and the Pancha Tattvas remain pure. It cannot happen. It's not possible. Acha, tell me, what is the use of all these yantras? All these yantras are to create big projects. Acha, tell me, what these big projects are doing to the world? Any big project you take, they're only creating disturbance in the tattvas. Okay? All Mahayantras are being used by every Tom, Dick and Harry all across the world. For example, even this mobile phone should also be treated, although it may look small, but it's a Mahayantra. But this Mahayantra has been created. It is available in everybody's hand. Acha, before I discuss about the repercussions of Mahayantra, let me just give you one more point. The yantras are created. Why yantras are created? Yantras are created to do a specified job in lesser time with lesser number of people involved, right? Minimum human effort in minimum time. Yantras are also created nowadays to give the maximum sort of information in minimum time in minimum space. That's another thing which has been added, right? What has happened? Let's call calculator a Mahayantra. Calculator is something which is Mahayantra. By the way of our understanding, calculator is something which does calculations in fractions of seconds. Just input your keys and it does the calculation. Now, I'll give you a challenge. I'll throw you a challenge. If at all you are ready to accept it and you are ready to start your life from again ABC, give birth to a child, make him, feed him to that level, develop him to that level where he starts understanding the world, and never ever insist that he learns any mathematical tables. No number tables are used. Give him calculator. Okay, give him a calculator. Right from day one, give him a calculator. Tell him that this does the calculation. Okay. And now create another in which you don't give. Now observe the level of capacity a child who had been given this Mahayantra at the beginning and someone who was not given it. Okay, let's go back. Expose that child to TV, internet, everything, whatever is available. All these are Mahayantras. And don't expose a child to all through developing age to all this. See how he develops, what kind of medha, what kind of smarana shakti he has, memory he has. The same way, all Mahayantras only deteriorate human beings who are using it. So therefore, Shastras clearly tell us that we are not interested in so much of spread of technology. We know technology, by the way, but we regulate technology. King may need it, we will give it to king. Rama had a yan. Ravana has a yan. But not every Tom, Dick and Harry in Ayodhya had a yan. Because why? Mahayantra will create a problem. Understood? First. Second, these yantras are also creating disturbance in the world. I had given enough example how we are polluting every tatva. In Tattva Shakti Vigyan, how we are polluting everything. How tattvas are polluted? Tell me. How tattvas are polluted? Tell me. Tattvas are being polluted. One example, let us say. The tattvas are being polluted by polythene. Okay, ji, polythene. Good. Okay. Where polythene is being used? Yeah, in packaging and all that. Why that is needed? No, because the production facilities are big and they are generally situated in a industrial area, and from there something has to be shipped, although it would become stale by the time it reaches there, but we would anyways produce it using Mahayantra and feed other people, and therefore we would use polythene, plastic bags, right? What would you have done? By creating a big automated bakery in one city and then supplying it to everywhere. Why not? Every house would have its own bakery, its own oven. And what will be the impact? The ocean will not be polluted. The land will not be polluted. The after the generation ozone will not be going away. I'm giving just example, just one example. Think about it. So we need to be aware that we are trying to not only become a mind which is only engaged in tamas and rajas. No, we have to move beyond that in sattva. And when we take decisions from sattva state of mind, we take decisions which are valid eternally. Nobody can question them at any point in time of history. Okay? Nobody. That is the boon of Devi. Devi, which is our own Shakti. And our own Shakti is representative of two things. Jnana Shakti, Iksha Shakti, which is rooted in our mind, our Antahkarana. And then that is expressed through our body, which is Kriya Shakti. Correct or not? So Devi, when full bloom mind is available to us, it is just a replica of Devi. So don't try to find out Devi outside. Try to create an idol of Devi within you. And what is that idol like? That idol is creating a mind which is rooted in sattva through your sadhana. And what kind of mind? Just one last clue and then we end. What kind of mind is rooted in sattva? The one which is dispassionate. Understand? Rooted in dispassion. The one which is free from me, mine. The one which is free from all the ignorance which is freely available by it. And one which we inherit, that Jiva Bhava, of course, that Anuta, that Anavamal. Understand? We have to clean up our mind. We talked about tatva shuddhi today. Some hint being given about mana shuddhi. Okay. Got it?
शरज्योत्स्ना शुद्धं शशियुतजटाजूटमकुटां वरत्रासत्राणं स्फटिकघटिका पुस्तककरां सकृन्नत्वा नत्वा कथमिव सतां सन्निदधते मधुक्षीरद्राक्षा मधुरीणा फणितया.
Okay. So those who are interested in knowing what kind of capacities or protections or boons this mantra can grant them, they should be knowing that at least one thing should be known, that kavitva, which means expressing your thoughts in most effective and poetic and whatever way you want it, is possible by chanting this mantra. Okay? And also, this is on the expressive level of karma. At the level of jnana, this is going to give you that remembrance of who you are. That means it will lead you to enlightenment. What is ultimate knowledge? What is the essence of the book which you are going to keep, that mother has been depicted? Essence of the book is मुक्ति संभव है और मुक्ति और मेरे बीच में सिर्फ एक दूरी है, वो है अज्ञान. बस मैं मुक्त ही हूं. So at the level of knowledge also, it improves all the expressions. It improves memory. It also gives you capacity to express that knowledge in the most beautiful way. Correct? Shiva.
Acharya.